Okay guys, I'm going to show you how we set up our first file to make it a HTML file so it can be read by a web browser. So this is Visual Studio Code as you've seen before, and what we're going to do is we're going to go up to File and New File. We can just click that there. It might just take you straight to this screen. If it does, that's great. If you look, it says Untitled 1 up here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here to File and Save As. Once we've saved it, we can then start editing it. This is going straight into my documents in a new folder. If you remember previously, we name our HTML file index because that is what our home page will default to. I've already got one in there, which shouldn't cause any problems. I'll just get an error message pop up in a second asking if I want to save over it, which is fine. The second thing you need to do is change the type of file it saves as. So it's a big on list. We are looking for HTML, which is there in all caps. Click that. You see I've already got one there, but I'll just overwrite it now. Click Save. There's that message I mentioned. So yes, I want to replace it. If you've already got one, you'll get the message. If you haven't, it will just save. Click Yes. If you notice now, the tab at the top has now got the angle brackets that represent HTML files. So we are now good to go. This is a blank web page, nothing in it at all. Next thing we've got to do is put in some template text. That is a standard in all HTML files. You can type it in manually. It can take a little while. Some people will copy and paste it, but there is a keyboard shortcut in Visual Studio. So on your keyboard, if you hold down Shift and number 1 and then press Enter, not like that, a little bit quicker than I did, and you will get this pop up automatically. It might be a different color on yours, but we should have a doc type declaration. So this tells the browser this is a HTML file. This line here says the language we're working in is English. This is the head section here, which is where some details about your document go, and the head goes on the top just like it does on Person. We've got a body, so there's the start body, there's the closing body. That is the main part of our web page. So at the moment there's nothing in it at all. That's that blank line there. What we're going to do now is just put a few little details in and you will have your first working web page. So the first thing I'm going to do is in the head section, I'm going to change where it says title here. So these title brackets here, these are the tags, these are the markup languages. The correct name is a tag, so this is a title tag. If you think of them like brackets, this is the opening tag. This one here with the slash in it, so that one doesn't have a slash, this one does. That is a closing tag, so anything inside it then is a title. So opening, closing, even though we open and close both angle brackets. At the moment my document is called document. I don't want it to be called that. So I'm going to call this home page. Call it whatever you like really within reason. But that now means that when I save my work, that little dot there tells me I've got unsaved work. So if I just press Ctrl S, that goes away. So I now know it's saved. I can look quickly and see if I've got unsaved changes. I'm now going to preview that in one of my browsers and just double check that it works as a web page. And I'll show you what changing that to home page does. So I can right click, I can open it in File Explorer. There it is, there is my index file. If I double click it, it's open on my other window, give me a second. There's my web page. Okay, nothing on it at all because I haven't put anything in. If you look, the title now says home page. And that's because I put it inside those title brackets. I can minimize that now and just refresh it as I make changes. Okay, so that's our title. The next thing I'm going to do is put something in the body just so we can check that that's working. Now, because Visual Studio is set up for web pages, here's my body tag. This is where my content is going to go. I need to put something in a paragraph inside here, okay? So the tag we use for that is a paragraph tag, which is just the letter P. Okay, so I'm going to open my angle brackets. I'm going to press P, and I'm going to close my angle brackets. And Visual Studio has very cleverly added in the closing tag for me. So it's done me a bit of a favour. The indent is done automatically as well to make my code easier to read. You can manually do it too, but it's trying its best to help us. So in here, I'm just going to type in any message I like because it's a paragraph. Welcome to my first web page. And I've got the circle at the top of the screen there, which means I've got unsaved changes, which is this line. Press Ctrl S to save. I go back down to that browser window I had open, there it is. If I refresh this now, I've got a paragraph on my first web page. So in all of that, we've got our file saved properly. We've got our template for our web page. We've added a title to a browser. Sorry, the pop-ups are a bit crazy. Title for our home page. We've used a paragraph tag, and we've got a very, very basic introduction and understanding of tags in HTML. In the next part, we're going to look at adding more and more features to this, but you've now made your first web page.